Right friends, let us look at the questions and answers. General and banking for 50th week. Convenient action, Gujarat's response to challenges of climate change. This is the book written by the Prime Minister of the country, Narendra Modi, long ago when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. Right? Name the largest pharmaceutical company in the country. Sun Pharma is the largest pharmaceutical company in the country. 16th India-Russia Annual Summit is going to be held during December 24-25 at Moscow. The Prime Minister is going to attend that, and it is expected that major defense deals between India and Russia are going to be struck. Look into the next one for regional rural banks. Regional rural banks were established in the year 1975 when the country was under emergency, and the priority sector lending target from 1st January 2016 will be 75%. At present, the priority sector lending target for regional rural banks is 60%, and that will be increased to 75% from 1st January 2016. Look into the next one. Reserve Bank of India directed banks to ensure that their direct lending to non-corporate farmers does not fall below the level of why this circular is given is the priority sector lending guidelines were modified in April 2015. In the modification, the dividing line between direct agriculture and indirect agriculture was taken off. And now, fearing that the loans may go to other than farmers, Reserve Bank of India came up with a circular that at least 11.57% of the loans for this year should go to non-corporate farmers. Look into the next one. In Myanmar, National League for Democracy, NLD, headed by Aung San Suu Kyi, it won 135 out of 168 contested seats in upper house and 255 out of 330 contested seats in lower house. The seats reserved for armed forces are at 25%, and important positions are held by armed forces. Second thing is, you can say there is a limited democracy in Myanmar. Most of the things are dictated by armed forces. 25% of the seats in parliament are held by armed forces. In spite of that, this National League for Democracy, headed by Aung San Suu Kyi, held a comfortable majority in parliament in Myanmar. Look into the next one. Which of the following bloc is not connected with climate change? Let us look at the blocks given. IPCC. What is IPCC? IPCC is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. This Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change was constituted in 1988 to disseminate scientific data on climate change. Several people contribute to it on voluntary basis, and it disseminates information so as to take action. This IPCC was established by United Nations in the year 1988. Subsequently, this United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change was conceived in the Rio de Janeiro Earth Summit of 1992. That is also established by United Nations for climate change. Third one is basic countries. Basic countries are basically the countries fighting for their due share when they are looking at the action to be taken with regard to climate change. What is basic? Basic countries are Brazil, South Africa, India and China. The contention of these basic countries is already developed countries are spending lot of energy by fossil fuels, and there should be space for developing countries also to grow. So basically, basic bloc also pertains to climate change, but IBSA, IBSA, India, Brazil and South Africa, this group is basically for fighting poverty, not climate change. So, out of the given options, IBSA group is for fighting poverty. Name the state government which is under severe financial distress and mortgaging properties to raise funds. This unfortunate situation arose for the state of Punjab. Punjab was a revenue surplus state up to 1983-84, and since 2008-9, public debt has grown by 50%. And not much tax mobilization was there since 1995. Because of this, the situation of finances in the state of Punjab is deteriorating, and now the state government stated that it will mortgage some properties to come out of financial distress. Name the defunct newspaper which is in the news recently. In the cases involving Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi, the newspaper in question is National Herald, and we will discuss about this sometime in lecture classes. This National Herald was started by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in the year 1938. It is in the news recently. Pune and Rajkot became the new IPL franchisees in place of Chennai Super Kings and Rajasthan Royals. And this is for a period of 2 years. Pune franchisee was bought by Sanjeev Goenka's company New Racing, and Rajkot was bought by Keshubhai of Intex Mobiles. And please don't forget, the IPL chairman is Rajiv Shukla. Time magazine named Angela Merkel for the Person of the Year 2015 award, basically due to two reasons. She was hailed for tackling Europe's debt crisis, and the second thing is her action in taking more number of Syrian refugees. Right friends, look into the next one. India won the Freedom Trophy for Mahatma Gandhi-Nelson Mandela Series 2015 by 3-0. In the 4 test match series, India defeated South Africa by 3-0, and because of which India reached number 2 position in ICC rankings. Not only that, Ravichandran Ashwin became the man of the series, or you can say player of the series, and he took 31 wickets with an average of 11.12. Name the country where red alert was sounded for the first time since 2013 for air pollution. We are talking about Beijing, that is China. And the topmost alert, that is red alert, was sounded, and schools were ordered for closure and people were advised to stay indoors. Shinzo Abe, the Prime Minister of Japan, visited India for the 3rd time. Starting from 1st April 2016 and up to 31st March 2017, statutory liquidity ratio will be reduced by 0.25% every quarter. Statutory liquidity ratio will be reduced by 0.25% every quarter during the next financial year. That means during the total financial year, it will be reduced by overall 1%. At present, statutory liquidity ratio is 21.5%. It will come down to 20.5% by the end of 2016-17 financial year. Anil Baisal Committee submitted its report to review the framework of corporate social responsibility. What is corporate social responsibility? Subject to the conditions, the companies, the profitable companies have to spend 2% of their average profit over the last 3 years on corporate social responsibility. And a committee was constituted headed by Anil Baisal, and Anil Baisal committee submitted its report on corporate social responsibility. And certain committees, please don't forget, TK Vishwanathan committee on bankruptcy laws, Ishwar committee on Income Tax Act, review of Income Tax Act 1961, and these things please don't forget. Nobel Peace Prize was presented to group of 4 organizations which were responsible for ensuring the smooth transition to democracy in Tunisia. Tunisia is the country where Arab Spring came up for the first time during the end of 2010, and subsequently 4 organizations responsible for ensuring peace and democracy in the country were awarded Nobel Peace Prize. And please don't forget, Nobel Peace Prize is presented in Oslo. Remaining prizes are presented in Stockholm, but Peace Prize is presented in Oslo. Look into the next one. Norman Mailer Prize for Lifetime Achievement has gone to Salman Rushdie. Who is Norman Mailer? This Norman Mailer is a famous author from United States of America, and in his name this prize was instituted. and for lifetime achievement, this has gone to Salman Rushdie. And please look into this, the famous books written by Salman Rushdie, but some of them became controversial at the same time. One is the Satanic Verses, second is Midnight's Children, and now he is writing another book, 2 years, 8 months and 28 nights. Parliament passed Negotiable Instruments Amendment Bill. Now it will become an act. It provides for filing of check bounce cases at the place where the check is presented for clearance. Your friend has given you check at Chennai. Your friend is staying in Chennai. He has given you check, but you presented in Delhi, but that check got bounced, and now you can file check bounce case in Delhi only. And as per the previous law, you are required to go to Chennai to file the check bounce case, but now you can file the check bounce case at the place where check got bounced. So the right option here is where the check is presented for clearance. Right? US chemical giants DuPont and Dow Chemical Company have agreed to merge in an all-stock deal. This is valued at $130 billion. Head of Commonwealth is Queen Elizabeth II. Last week we discussed Commonwealth is the group of countries, and the head of the Commonwealth is Queen Elizabeth II. The Commonwealth countries are normally the countries which were previously ruled by British Empire or at present under British rule. There are around 53 countries in Commonwealth, and Queen Elizabeth II, the head of the Commonwealth, and at the same time at present Secretary General is Kamlesh Sharma, and chair in office will be the head of the host country. Chair in office will be the head of host country, and it was hosted by Malta recently. So chair in office is Maltese Prime Minister Joseph Muscat, and please don't forget, next summit in 2018 is going to be held in United Kingdom. Soumitra Choudhury Committee report pertains to vehicle pollution norms. Based on Soumitra Choudhury Committee report, government devised this Bharat Stage 5, Bharat Stage 6 norms. This Soumitra Choudhury Committee pertains to vehicle pollution norms. Embrace of the Serpent has been adjusted the best film at 46th IFFI. Please don't forget, the 46th IFFI was held at Goa, and for the past several years, this International Film Festival of India is being held at Goa, and it won the Golden Peacock Award, and it belongs to Colombia. And look into the next one. Name the state which passed Jan Lokpal Bill 2015 for the establishment of a statutory anti-corruption ombudsman. Recently, Delhi Assembly passed this Jan Lokpal Bill 2015. Name the High Court which stated that married daughters of deceased government employees. What is the meaning of this? Previously, when the employee dies, when central government employee dies, married daughters are not eligible. Married daughters were not eligible in those days to get employment. And now Allahabad High Court stated that married daughters of deceased government employees are also eligible for appointment on compassionate grounds. Right? Look into the next one. Sir Venkatraman Ramakrishnan assumed the presidency of Royal Society in London. This is the science society, probably the oldest in the world, established in the year 1660. This is the prestigious institution in the world. And Sir Venkatraman Ramakrishnan, of Indian origin, who got a Nobel Prize in Chemistry, assumed the charge of 61st President of this Royal Society in London. He will be in that post for 5 years. Look into the next one. Name the country that successfully sent the first consignment of 250 tons of uranium to India as part of bilateral civil nuclear cooperation between both the countries. That is Canada. Recently, 250 tons of uranium was sent to India subsequent to this bilateral civil nuclear cooperation agreement. Name the country which became the top source of FDI into India, replacing Mauritius during the first half of 2015-16. The country is Singapore. Now, Singapore stood at the top position for FDI into India, replacing Mauritius. Honorary doctorate was conferred when Shinzo Abe recently visited India. Honorary doctorate was conferred on him by Jawaharlal Nehru University. Partner city agreement already exists between Kyoto in Japan and Varanasi in India. Right? Name the country which allowed women to vote and contest for the first time. In the recently concluded municipal elections, women have voted and elected representatives for the first time in Saudi Arabia. State Bank of India stated that its new debit cards will have EMV facility. This gives protection against skimming. What is skimming? Skimming is nothing but illegally copying your information. When you are using your ATM card in ATMs, people can copy this information by inserting some instrument. But with EMV cards, what is EMV? EMV is Euro, MasterCard, Visa. This is the world standard and people cannot copy your information when the card is EMV. And State Bank of India stated that its new debit cards all will be with the EMV facility, and this gives the protection against skimming. That means no one can copy the information if the card is EMV. Foundation stone for Tapi pipeline was recently laid at Meri. Meri is the town in Turkmenistan. Our Vice President attended the function at Meri. Look into the last one. Arvind Subramanian Committee on GST recommended demerit tax of 40% on pan masala and tobacco products. This is also known as the sin tax. The committee recommended the tax structure under GST can be as high as 40% for demerit goods. The goods which are harmful for human consumption like tobacco, pan masala, these can be charged at a high percentage. That is known as the demerit tax or a sin tax. Right? So, let us conclude here. Please do join for other modules. Have a nice day. Thank you.